Hey guys, Brien here with another week of my culinary school experience at the Culinary Institute of America at Greytsone. This is week 10 of semester 2, and it was my first week of Alucard Service. Now, before I get into that, let me get into my liberal arts classes, as I always do. Now, last week, as I mentioned, I actually had the class menus off. So it was nice to have a little bit of a gap. We only had to focus on one class, and it was really nice. This week we were back in it, back with Professor Rogi and menus, and we're still talking about numbers. We're really talking about how to look at and evaluate numbers as far as a business goes when looking at a restaurant. And there's just so many different things to learn about, different Excel spreadsheets, different techniques of doing and counting the numbers. So that was really, really cool. This week I started a new liberal arts class. It's actually called Food Systems, and it's taught by Professor Jennifer Kaplan. This is a really, really cool class, and it seems like it's going to be a fairly leisurely class because I feel like the majority of the content lies in the book The Omnivore's Dilemma, which is a great, great book. I've talked about it on here before, but basically the majority of the work that we're going to have to do is read and talk about and really write about that book. So I'm really happy about it. And Jennifer Kaplan she's also a writing instructor, but she's very much into food systems and has degrees backing that. So I'm very excited to learn from her kind of view of food systems and sustainability and things like that. So again, that's Food Systems with Professor Jennifer Kaplan. Now, back into the kitchen. This is week 1 of Alucard Service. Now, Alucard Service is basically single-plated dishes. My class is now tasked, as we were in all the other classes, with feeding the masses. We feed the rest of the students at the Culinary lunch. And Alucard Service is really similar to how a restaurant functions. When somebody orders a dish, let's say beef stew, that order comes in, and then somebody who is an expediter fires the order. So fire one beef stew means start cooking the beef stew. It's time to go. We got to get it out. Generally, the person that's expediting kind of has an idea about how long it's going to take to cook and plate that dish, and we're kind of still getting into that. Our class is separated by teams. We have one person who's expediting, who's basically calling orders. The students will wait in line. They look at our menu, which we have sample plates out there to see, show them what they're going to be eating, and they pick a dish. A student will pick, say, the salmon dish. The expediter will say, firing one salmon. We call back one salmon, heard, and then we start cooking it. Then the student comes over to our area, we finish plating up the dish, and we serve it in an Alucard service. So that's basically how the class goes. It was a really tough first week. It's just so much work to do, and we're in new teams, and so getting used to all of that it's hard. It's been a rough week. Towards the end of the week, Friday, we kind of started to get the hang of things, but there's bumps and bruises along the way. But that's all part of the learning process, and I'm happy to be learning. So yeah, that's it. Alucard Service. That's actually taught by Chef Kelly Mills, who I had back for meat fabrication. So it's nice to have a chef that I know, and I know his processes and how he functions. So it's nice that way. But it's a new beast, this Alucard Service, and it's really setting us up for our practicals, which are in a couple weeks. And each dish in this class can come up on the practical, so it's good to get to practice. So that's it for me, guys. Week 10 of the books, Culinary Institute of America at Greytsone. My name's Brien O'Brien. If you have any questions about what it takes to get enrolled, what it's like to be a student at the Culinary, please feel free to reach out. You can email me at brian@chefbrianobrien.com. You can shoot me an inbox message, or just go ahead and comment below. Thanks again for watching, guys. See you next week.